Hi, everyone. It's Kariana with Create Your Future. I am a certified law of assumption coach. I'm a certified life coach, and I'm a certified meditation practitioner. So before we get into this video, I wanted to remind you guys that we're giving away a free course. It's how to find your blocks and manifest anything fast. Also, too, all of my information for my one-on-one coaching will be down in the description box below. So if you guys need any help, please reach out. I would love, love, love to help you. Also, too, don't forget to like and subscribe so you guys can get notifications on all of our weekly videos. Okay, so let me get into this video. So today I wanted to talk about how to move from a desperate, needy, chasing, lack energy into being pursued and chased, and having your SP value you and appreciate you and be obsessed with you in a healthy way, of course. So I was working with a client, and she was in a very, lack, chasing, desperation, needy energy, wondering why this wasn't working out for her, wondering why she didn't have her SP in the version that she wanted him in. And just, watching videos and comparing herself to all the clients that were getting their manifestations faster, and just to comparing herself to friends that were in these healthy relationships around her, that were getting engaged, that were getting married. It was always like, why is this not me? Why is this taking me so long to get my SP in their version? So I want to go over how we work things out, and how we got her into a energy where she felt more confident in putting herself first, and really got the gist of what self-concept is about, and stepping into her creator mindset and stepping into her power, and realizing that she was born perfect and powerful, that there was nothing to really change within herself all along. It was just changing her assumptions about how people, how SP showed up for her and how he viewed her. So I want to go over that. So first and foremost, I always say this in pretty much all of my videos, especially my recent videos, because I want to make it very clear to our subscribers and clients that you first and foremost have to get clear on what you want. And so that's what I did with her in session. I was like, let's get clear on exactly what you want, because it seemed like she was all over the place. Like I said, she was in this needy, desperate energy that was just feeling so scattered with her thoughts, and she couldn't get it together. And I'm glad that she came and got coaching, because I feel like when you're at that point, it is time to sit down with a coach. So that's what she did. And so I asked her, let's get clear on what you want. All right. Let's try to come from as calm and neutral place as we can, and just clear our minds and get clear on exactly what we want, because we want to be feeding our subconscious with just that. Subconscious, like I said before several times, subconscious loves very literal, specific details. Let's not confuse it. So she got clear on what she wanted. She told me, I want this man. This just happened to be, a female client that had a male SP. I want this man to come in. But this, this goes for anybody out there in any kind of situation with SP. I want this man to come in hot. I want him to show me that he values me and appreciates me. I want him obsessed with me. I want him to, initiate dates. I want him to treat me like a queen. And I was like, okay, rightly so. Obviously, if you desire it, then it's yours. You can have it. It's your reality. It's your little quantum bubble, babe. I'm in it, and I'm here to give you what you want, to help you get what you want. And, I just reiterated that she's entitled to this, that it's her birthright. Right. And then what I did with her as well, as if you've ever had a session with me, or if you've ever watched any of my videos, first and foremost is just going over the blocks and resistance that this person has. So I listened to a little bit of her story. Usually I don't need a long, because circumstances don't matter. But the reason why I ask for a story or a summary is because I want to get to your blocks and resistance. And watching watching the person, on session, and listening to them talk really shows me a lot about what is going on in here, what you're entertaining the most. So that helps me. So I listened to her story and I got to her blocks and her resistance. And I asked her, what are your assumptions about your SP? Like, what are your assumptions? How do you view this person? Right. So how do you think that this person's going to show up every day for you? And she had this like running story about this person, and it was just an awful story about how this person like just doesn't, value women, doesn't see relationships as something that he needs to appreciate, that, people are in and out of his life and it's like no big deal, just very nonchalant kind of person that doesn't really hold value to relationships, especially romantic ones. He put everything above all love and relationships. And that made her in turn feel as all it takes is one conversation that you have with somebody. And I mean, these can be blocks and resistance that you carried with you that don't necessarily have to be about this particular SP. But when you met them, right, you call this person in, right, they come into your reality, and then you have a conversation with them, and they kind of reiterate, right, what you've already had blocks and resistance about before. And like I say, 3 seconds ago was the past. We don't live there. We're not trying to dwell in the past. It doesn't matter how long you've had these blocks for. You could have a block for, 3 months, 3 years, 30 years. It doesn't matter. Okay. And then like I said, what it takes is just one conversation with this SP. And then now you've got this assumption that they're going to show up like everybody else has, or like you think that men show up in relationships, women show up in relationships, people show up in general in relationships. And then there you go. Now you've created this assumption about this person. And like I always say, an assumption and a belief is the thought on repeat. So you keep entertaining that over and over and over and over again in your mind. And then it becomes an assumption that's now hardened into fact. So this person is constantly reflecting this back to you. They're constantly showing up in that version because that is your hardcore assumption about them, right? It really just takes that much. I mean, it does not take much to have that happen. So that's why we always have to keep our thoughts in check. Thoughts are always creating, guys. That's a reminder, right? Manifestation 101 basics. Thoughts are always creating, good and bad. So then I asked her, how does she think that her SP views her? Right? How do you think that he views you? How do you think he sees you? And I mean, I pretty much know the answer to this already by listening to her assumptions around SP, her a little bit of backstory about how she feels about relationships, how this has all played out with this particular SP. But I asked her anyways, because I really wanted to hear it from her. And of course it was, what I thought, he views me as, this person that, is annoying. That was one of the things. Oh, I think that he thinks that I'm annoying. Right. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's not a good thought to have about somebody that you feel should be coming in and valuing you and loving you and appreciating you and chasing you and pursuing you and doing all of these things for you. Right. So she's like, yeah, I just think that he thinks I'm annoying and he puts me last and he that can take me or leave me. He can spend time with me or he can't spend time with me. It's no big deal. And I was like, okay, that teaches me a lot about how, how you think that, how you think people show up for you. Right. So yeah. So anyways, after we got through that and we talked a little bit about, how everyone is you pushed out, because I had to reiterate that to her. It's like, if you're assuming that this person thinks that you're annoying and that they put you last and they could care less and they could take you or leave you, then you entertain that enough, that person is going to keep on reflecting that back to you. That person's going to keep on showing you that. And I had to just really remind her, right? And then we had to get into self-concept, right? And have her step into, first and foremost, I always say this, step into creator mindset. Creator mindset and self-concept, in my opinion, in my coaching format, in my coaching, what I do for my clients, I believe that they go hand in hand. I believe that self-concept and creator mindset are one. They're like a perfect marriage with each other. So when you step into your creator mindset and you realize how powerful you are, right? Then you start realizing your confidence gets strengthened, right? You start realizing that you're born perfect, that you were born perfect and powerful, that you're creating, right? That shoots you right up to the pedestal. That will allow you to snatch back your free will from anybody that you've given it to. Okay. So we had to really, really concentrate on her wrapping her head around the fact that, self-concept, creator mindset and self-concept go hand in hand. Strengthening her self-concept was really, really number one, because she just had such just a, just a bad view of herself, a very low self-concept. And so we had to go through that. And like I said, a lot of this stuff can be separate from SP. You could have carried this into the relationship with you. A lot of times, yes, an SP can create us to have a low self-concept because, like I said, we had this conversation with SP and they told us I never want to get married. I don't think that relationships are, for me, I'm bad in relationships. Just whatever they tell you, right? And then you can take that and you can run with it. And then that creates a lot of insecurity within the relationship, and that can create a low self-concept. But if you feel like this is something that has followed you, this has followed you in relationship after relationship, then it's probably separate from SP. It's probably things that you need to work on within yourself. Because even if you were to decide to fire this SP from your reality and drop them and not flip the story, then you bring in somebody else, you call in somebody else, and then it's going to follow you. And the same pattern is going to keep on happening. So it's really important to decipher, like, is this separate from SP? And, a lot of times I'll straight up ask my client, do you think that this has followed you? Is this a pattern? Is this something that keeps happening with you? And, some of them say yes, some of them say no. Okay. So if it's separate from SP, even if it's not separate from SP, but if it's separate from SP, not separate from SP, it's something that you do need to work on. You need to pay attention to. You need to be honest with yourself, and you need to take accountability of why you're keep creating this, if this is a pattern, or why you've created this assumption about this SP and now you're experiencing this version that is just this very unfavorable, horrible version of SP that's showing up. A lot of it has to do, I see a lot of my clients come to me and they simply just don't feel like they're good enough, that they're worthy enough, that they're worthy of having this relationship and love that they've always desired, that they're good enough, and like I tell my clients all the time, you're good enough. In fact, you're overqualified. You're overqualified. Because you're born perfect, right? You are 100% worthy of the exact love and relationship that you desired. Don't ever doubt that. Okay. So yeah, a lot of it has to do with that. A lot of it has to do, with fear of abandonment, fear of being, left, not chosen, fear of being chosen. And I always tell, I've said this in other videos, but I always challenge my clients. Like I challenge you to ask yourself, right? Be really honest with yourself and ask yourself, what am I fearing? If I know that I'm the creator, then what am I fearing? Because I'm going to tell you right now, your SP does not have a choice in leaving your reality unless you give them free will to do that. Unless you say, here's free will, treat me however you want to, show up however you want to, leave me if you want to, come back if you want to, here's your free will. Okay. They don't have a choice to leave your reality. Okay. Or unless you drop them and say, I'm firing you from my reality. I don't want to do this anymore. This is not something I desire any longer. I want to manifest somebody new or I want to manifest something completely different. I just want to live my life. I want to be alone. I want to do my own thing. I want to make new friends. Okay. So they don't have a choice to leave your reality. They just don't. They don't. They are literally following the script that you've written them. Okay. Down to leaving, coming, going, showing up. All of it is written by you. All of it is in your script is obviously, your assumptions about this person. What are you feeding your mind with? Your mental diet, right? They have to be, your mental diet has to be in alignment with what you want. You've got to immerse yourself in that. Mental diet has to be literally flipping those thoughts as much as you can. I understand we have a lot of thoughts, right? I think they've said in all my studies of when I was becoming certified and all this, that it's like 70 to 100,000 thoughts, give or take. I think it's probably more. And it's impossible to flip unless you start affirming. No, it's not impossible, right? But as a collective manifestation, we all pretty much think, okay, this is impossible to flip every single one of those thoughts, right? But I'm saying you got to catch as many thoughts as you can. They're unfavorable, and you have to be able to flip them. You have to. And that is your mental diet. You've got to have your mental diet align. Your thoughts have to align with what you want in order to push this out, in order for you to call this in. Okay. And if you feel also too, a lot of my clients will come to me and they're like, I feel like there's just so much to change with my self-concept. I want to be more confident. I don't feel like I'm worthy. I don't feel like I'm good enough. I want to be more magnetic. I want to feel sexy, because maybe in this situation with SP, they don't think that they're SP's type, or they don't think that SP goes for, blondes and they're brunette, or goes for blondes and they're blondes. You get what I'm saying? Like their characteristics, their features or whatever, that they don't think that they're SP's exact type. Maybe something was said and now they have an assumption about that. But there's just a lot of things that they feel like they need to change within themselves, a lot of self-concept things. Or they feel like there's a lot of things that they need to change about SP, right? And I'm very, very, very detailed about how I do my affirmations with my clients. I think that anybody that's ever been in session with me knows that. I also have said that I probably on videos, like I'm very specific about my affirmations. I'm very detailed about them. Like, I guess you could say picky. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but that's how we impress the subconscious quickly. And that's how we get what we want. Once again, that's how we call these things in, right? And affirmations and intentions, they strengthen our mental diet. They're part of all of that, right? They're a perfect marriage, like I've said before. So if you feel like there's a lot to change and you're overwhelmed, don't be afraid to, and I'll help you with that, right? Obviously, if we're in session, but don't be afraid to use umbrella blanket affirmations. They're still very, very powerful, right? As long as you're going in, like I said, and they're in alignment with what you want, don't be afraid to do that. I feel like a lot of clients that come to me, like I said, they've had coaching before, they've done these methods, they've watched all these videos, they're doing all of these things, right? All of these things. And they feel like it's a second and third job for them sometimes. And they're frustrated and they're in desperate, needy energy, right? And all they want to do is just wrap their head around all of this, simplify it, right? And set some things down and call in what they want, right? So they can have their manifestation and they can call it in, they can keep it, and they can enjoy it. That's the whole point. And the only way that we can do that is really, really changing the story for good, right? Changing our assumptions for good around SP, right? So don't be afraid to have a shorter list of affirmations that are very specific, very detailed to what you want. And don't be afraid to use umbrella and blanket affirmations. They're still very powerful. They work. I've seen it work in my own life, in my friends' lives, in all of my clients' lives. Okay. And so, yeah, having like some really, really powerful umbrella blanket affirmations about your self-concept, about SP, they work. Okay. They do work. Also too, I want you to really start changing your perspective on love and relationships, right? And SP. Instead of putting that on the pedestal, making it so unattainable and feeling like I can't have this thing because it gives me energy and it defines my life, because society has told me, right, all of these years that, if you're not married by a certain time, right, you don't have anybody in your life, or you're not, you don't have kids by a certain time, you're not married with kids by a certain time, then what are you? What are you doing, right? You don't have a partner by a certain time and you're not married, like I said, then it's like, oh, well, are you never going to get married? Or maybe you're just too old to get married. It's never going to happen for you, right? It's all these things as like in society that have kind of, like, for lack of a better term, kind of brainwashed us into keeping love and relationship on a pedestal and making it so unattainable. It's like it's like desperate, lacking, chasing energy. Once again, it's like, I have to have this. I have to have it. I have to have it. If I don't have it, what am I? Who am I? What's the meaning of life, kind of thing. It's like, no, I challenge you to change your perspective and start looking at it like, no, I give all of these things definition in my life. I've said this before, guys. I give this definition in my life and I choose that this is what it is, right? I give love the definition in my life and I choose that I am loved by everyone. Okay? There's an affirmation right there. I give love the definition in my life and I decide I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. I define my worth and I decide I am worthy. I'm worthy, right? So these are more, I guess, I don't know, I guess you could call it like a little bit of kind of like a blanket affirmation, but they're very powerful. But yeah, so like, I don't want you guys to be afraid of having, affirmations that are more like blanket umbrella. If you feel like you're overwhelmed and you've got a large list of affirmations and you feel like you're affirming all day, every day, because you have, 20 to 30 to 50 affirmations, believe me, I've heard it. I've heard this. And I'm like, whoa, okay, that's a lot. You're flooding your subconscious. You're confusing it. You're probably repeating yourself a lot, right? I see that a lot. I think that if you have more than, a certain amount of affirmations, let's just say, I don't know, 10 affirmations or something, then you're probably repeating yourself. You're probably like saying the same thing over and over again, just different ways. And it's not necessary. It's not necessary for when you're feeding your subconscious what you want. It's not necessary to keep repeating yourself and having these affirmations that say the same exact thing over and over again. Okay. Also too, I have a client that we're talking about that wrote in, and she's been like updating me on what's been going on. So things have really changed for her, like turned around. And she just wrote me like a quick little like cute success story or progress story of what's happening. So I want to read that to you guys just to kind of give you guys some, just, I don't know, encouragement, right? So you guys can, if you guys want to be pursued, if you want to be chased, if you want to have your SP, be obsessed with you in a healthy way, right? You want to be on the pedestal. You want your SP to initiate dates and treat you like a queen or king. Or this is some encouragement for you guys. Okay. So she said, hey girl, I maintain a strict mental diet, like you said, and I'm so happy to share with you that he is coming in hot again. I know that I'm going to be able to maintain it this time. I worked on my self-concept, like you said, started putting myself on a pedestal and started doing things just for me. I continue affirming for him as well, repeating the affirmations you gave me as many times as I can. And I could see him and his behavior changing towards me. Remember my situation, but like you said, circumstances are irrelevant. Thought transmission is real, and I fully believe it now. I keep my thoughts in check, and I'm so grateful to you, Kariana. I was at the lowest point when our session, when we had our session, and trust me, you helped me a lot to stay calm. I will be sending you a full success story soon. Love you. Thank you once again. So this is just a little bit of encouragement for you guys, right? To remember that you guys are no different. You're no different. That you can go from, a desperate lack, chasing energy. I have to have this. Oh my gosh, it's been this long. Why is everybody else getting their manifestations and not me? Right? I challenge you that next time that you're watching a video, you're, reading a success story, you're watching a romantic movie, I challenge you to say to yourself, oh, that's me and SP. SP does that for me. SP talks to me that way. SP looks at me like that. SP opens my doors. SP initiates dates like that. SP sends me flowers like that. Oh, she got her success story. Yeah, that's me and SP. Or SP and I are next. You see somebody proposing? SP buying my ring right now. SP is buying my ring right now as I speak. SP is buying my ring. SP is going to propose to me just like that. I can't wait. I can't wait. I cannot wait to say yes. I know it's on its way. It's on its way right now. SP is on his way right now to me. So that's what I challenge you guys to do. It's really going to help you guys stay in. First of all, it's fun, right? And second of all, it helps you guys to stay in the state of wish fulfilled. You have it. You have it now. It's all happening right now. It's a guarantee. Okay. And just to remind you guys, just to reiterate, remember, thoughts are always creating. Okay. Everyone. Okay. There's always movement happening. Always movement happening. The minute that we have a desire and we speak it, we start affirming for it, we start intending for it, the universe, right, is moving people, places, and things around to give us what we want. The universe is preparing to drop us into situations so we can have our desires. It is a guarantee. So take that with you guys. When you start feeling desperate, when you start feeling needy, when you start looking at time, all those things. Okay, just step back into your power. That calm confidence that I always talk about. Okay. People don't walk through a room, right, that are desperate and needy energy and all of those things and get noticed and get pursued and are magnetic. And no, they're actually the opposite. And I want you to become that person that is that has that calm confidence, that's, self-assured. Okay, that you know that you're the creator and you know that you're perfect. I want you to come from that energy. That's the person that walks through the room and gets noticed just for being who they are. Magnetic, calm, confident. Those are the people that get pursued. Okay. Those are the people that are valued. Those are the people that are appreciated. They know who they are and they stand firm in that. Okay. Stand firm in that. Because that is going to help you. That is going to be the catalyst for you to call these things into your reality. But most importantly, better than that, is that you're going to call these things in, but you're going to be able to keep them and enjoy them. Okay. That's the whole point here. We want to call these things in and we want to be able to keep them and enjoy them. We want to call SPN, and then we want to have our SP stay with us and be in their perfect version and treat us how we always meant to be treated in our lives from day one. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope that this was, I always say this, informational but simple. I hope you guys got a lot of clarifying moments. And happy Halloween, guys. I love this. It's my favorite holiday. I'm so excited. It's actually Halloween, and now we're going to be on to November. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night or day, wherever you are. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.